you have to be very clear as to what values are important for your organizational mission. If you stick to that, I do not see much conflict. And also, we have to understand that there will be differences. You can never bring people together only after they agree upon everything. So, identifying the common cause, common vision, and letting go our own individual values at times. So that's very important. So when you build an organization, when you bring people together, and spirituality to me is a binding factor because I distinguish religion and spirituality. Spirituality is what we become by following something. I am at the center there. The transformation in me is more important. In religion, God is important. Which God you are worshipping? If you focus on the God, then you can become fanatic. That this God versus that God, this method versus that method. But if you focus on what's the transformation you want to see, all of us want to see the same kind of transformation. We want to be at peace, we want to be happy, and we want to be in harmony with others. Can anyone question this? Towards this, the paths can be different. That's a focus on the core of spirituality, that the transformation you want to go through within, and accept that there are multiple paths. Then I don't see any conflict in this. In fact, pluralism is one of the values in Youth for Seva. It's a defined value, pluralism, that we respect diversity. And this value is so important not just because of religion. I would say even in the development sector. Otherwise, unconsciously, you may destroy the cultures. See, in the 18th and 19th century, when Europeans went to different countries, right, they had this thought that they are superior race, that their culture is superior. And they really want to give this culture to others. What they did in turn was they destroyed all the native traditions, whether it is Native Americans, the Mayans, Incas, Aztecs, all the ancient cultures they destroyed in the name of civilizing them. So this is where the pluralism as a value is extremely important in development sector. Even when I go to tribal village, don't look at their dress and think they are primitive. So pluralism is about respecting diversity, accepting diversity, and even celebrating differences. So this is a core value. I think that's a binding factor to me.
So what were some of the most memorable moments and times during this whole journey? What is it that stands out for you and you think has had an impact on the journey as well?
I think the lives that we transform when we do volunteering work, that definitely will remain as most memorable things. Because all these challenges, they come and go. We don't really remember what were those challenges. But somebody telling that because of the volunteering work, that their life was transformed. I think those things are the ones that stay in our memory. Just to give one example, in Vijayanagar Government School, our volunteers were doing a health checkup camp. And there was a 9-year-old girl, and she was labelled as deaf and dumb, that she could not speak nor hear. And her parents are construction workers from Gulbarga. And when our doctor volunteer who was testing, she suspected whether she has only hearing problem. Because of it, she is not speaking. So she asked the doctor, have you ever got this girl tested? The teacher said, no, that's not their job. And the volunteer followed with the family and asked, did you ever get her tested with a specialist? Family said no. Because we have to realize that poor people accept these things very easily. That my daughter is born like that. Whereas if you have money, you think that doctor, any amount of money I can give, please save the life. So poor people go to the other extreme. They had accepted that she is born like that. So this volunteer, she took this girl for a specialist and got her tested. And the doctor confirmed that she has a hearing problem. And she needs a hearing aid, which cost about 25,000 rupees. And we did not spend any money. There is a government insurance scheme for government school children called Suvarna Arogya Yojana. The volunteer did the paperwork, got the hearing aid. And when this girl heard the sound for the first time, she was literally jumping with joy. Because 9 years she had never heard sound. And after 1 year of speech therapy, she is able to speak also. So there are many stories like that. I think those are the memorable moments, I would say.
So So tell me about what kind of help did you seek through these years, through all the last 25 plus years? Whom did you seek help from? And what type of help did you take? Different types of help should be.
I think in terms of help, in the initial stages, of course, some financial help was required for the organization. And at that time, you go to people who trust you because you have nothing to showcase. See, now it is easy to raise crores of rupees because you have so much to showcase. At that time, people who believe you and the idea that you are talking about. And two individuals definitely who stood at that time with me were one Ramesh Buthada in US and another person, Mr. MP Kumar in Bangalore. So they both supported wholeheartedly. Said the full-time staff that we had to hire initially, they sponsored their salaries. And so that was a big support in the initial days. And another important support that I needed was about my own understanding of the development sector, because I am also new to this space. While I had done volunteering work in the US and the different places, how does the NGO system work here? So for that, I really looked up to Dr. R. Balasubramaniam in Mysore. And he has been on our advisory board since the inception. And Professor Vaidyanathan I mentioned. So some of these people provided me with the domain knowledge as to how to look at development sector itself. Because I was not looking at how to build an organization, but to understand the development itself. What is development? And Dr. Balu especially has contributed so much in this space in terms of my own understanding of the development sector. And other support that I sought was in terms of my own mentoring. Because emotionally we all go through this type of ups and downs. As I mentioned, when few key people left the organization, how to take it. And Raghuramji is my spiritual guide, and he has been a great help. Just to give one example, one day I was very disturbed because somebody whom I was planning to hand over the responsibility decided to move on. At that time I met my mentor, Raghuramji, and he asked me this one question: have you ever thought of what is permanent and what is temporary in the organization? And I reflected and said, the mission is permanent and people are temporary. So he said that you have to internalize this. All the suffering, he said, is because we expect permanency from things which are by nature impermanent. We expected permanency from the individuals, and you suffer now. Understand that people are impermanent. The cause is permanent. And in fact, his question was like, Krishna asking Arjuna, what is permanent and what is impermanent? And some of those moments are extremely important to understand in the big picture. In fact, after that, I started focusing more on the systems and process rather than individuals. Because otherwise my strength was more with people. I could identify talented people, bring them to the organization, and never focused much on the processes and systems. And this really opened my eyes. And one person who helped me in this respect of setting up systems was Mr. D.M. Kiran. Right now he is the CEO of ONGC Foundation. And he was our trust president at the time. He really helped me to understand how to look at the systems and process. So I think these are all the people who helped really in that.